Hi everybody, this is Yosarian from BoyMeetsPhone.com. This is a quick review of the Moto G for Boost Mobile. This device is currently available for $130 with no contract. Taking a quick hardware tour, up front we have a 4.5-inch IPS panel at a resolution of 1280 by 720, so this is a high-def panel. It's slightly smaller than the one you would find on its bigger brother, the Moto X, and because of that it has a higher pixel density, but it also uses different display technology, and we'll get into that just a little bit later. Up front we have the earpiece grill right here. There's a LED status light in between the earpiece grill and the VGA front-facing camera. To the side here we have the volume rocker and the power and screen lock button. Neither feel too loose or anything like that, though I do personally wish that the volume rocker was just slightly longer, though for the size of the device, in its overall shape it does seem to work, but personally I just wish it was a tiny bit longer. Up top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and a noise cancellation mic. On the bottom we have the micro USB port and a main microphone. And around back we have the speaker, 5-megapixel autofocus camera, and a single LED flash. The back cover on this device is removable. Motorola does sell different covers for this device. And it is stuck on there pretty good, so you don't have to worry about that just randomly popping off or anything. They do sell different colored covers, and they also sell grip covers and a flip cover. I would suggest considering switching to maybe a grip cover or checking out the flip cover at least. I found that due to the ergonomic shape of this device and the choice of material for the back, it was rather slippery to hold when you had gloves on, which is a must for New England winters. So if you're going to be using this and you have to wear gloves, beware of that. It does get a little bit slippery. So you might want to consider getting the grip cover. Removing the back, however, will not allow you access to the battery. The battery is still locked into this device. That means you cannot swap it out if the battery is dying, or you can't pull it if you need to reset it. So that's a little bit of a letdown. It does have a 2070 milliamp hour battery. Also, removing the back cover will not allow you to expand the memory on this device. Boost Mobile is selling the 8 gig version of the Moto G, which has 5.52 gigabytes of internal storage, and that's got to be for anything you want to hold on this device, such as music, apps, pictures and videos, anything that you have for storage. There is 50 gigs of cloud storage available to you for free for 2 years through Google Drive. When you purchase this device, you do have to activate it by opening up Google Drive and saying that you actually want to take advantage of that. And that will allow you to move things like your pictures and videos off of this device to save a little bit of space. But if you're not into micromanaging your storage, or you don't want to have to worry about that too much, then you are going to want to stay away from this device, because you are going to have to learn to live with less memory and learn how to deal with the fact that there's less storage on this device and you can't expand it. So if that's an issue for you, then this is not going to be the phone for you. This device is running Android 4.4.2 KitKat. When I first got this device, and actually for several weeks after having it, it was running 4.3 Jelly Bean. It wasn't until after I actually recorded another review of this device that it updated, like literally less than 24 hours after I got finished recording my original review, it updated to KitKat. So I actually am now redoing the review. You see, it is running Android 4.2 KitKat. You get the cool animation. What KitKat brings to the table is some icon changes. You notice that the top notification bar is white instead of blue that you would find on Jelly Bean. You have the option in display, not storage, for screencast. So if you have a Chromecast or anything like that, or a Miracast, you can access it via that. One of the features of KitKat that is not on this device, that I'm a little sad to say isn't on this device, is the ability to look up local pizza places or like local restaurants or any kind of local business through the phone dialer. You can only search your contacts, and I don't know why that was omitted from this build, and it's a little sad not to see it. But other than that, this is pretty much a stock version of Android. This not even Boost ID, which is a normal staple for Boost mobile devices. I know that they're shying away from using it. You can see there's only ID wallpaper, and that is actually just the Boost mobile wallpaper. Other than that, things you're going to get from Boost mobile are Air G Chat. You're going to find Boost Music and Boost Zone. That is all the apps that Boost mobile has on this device. So if you're worried about bloatware, Sprint's been really good about, letting down, like not putting too much bloatware on it, and also give you the option to delete stuff on it. So that is also nice. From Motorola, you have Moto Assist, which automates. There's two options. You have your meetings. Wait for that to come into focus. You have a meeting settings. So if you're in a meeting, you can have it set to automatically go on silent or send a auto reply message to your callers that you are in a meeting and that you'll get back to them. And this goes through your schedule and sees when you would actually be in a meeting. You also have sleep mode, which you can set to automatically kick in at a certain time, and it will silence your device so you won't be woken by constant notifications. Also, Motorola throws in Moto Migrate, so if you need to switch from a different Android device or an iOS device, you have a quick and easy way to move over things like contacts and things and other important information. Help is for Moto Care. I'm actually going to go to the settings and show you that. It allows you to get help with the device and also gives you suggestions for apps and things like that. In the Motorola Privacy, you can turn that off. You can also stop sending anonymous information to Motorola. And there's also Motorola Device ID, which is helpful if you lose this device or it's stolen. It allows you to track it and remote wipe the phone. As far as performance goes, I have no issues with performance on this device. It performs very, very well. Watching movies or videos on it is really good because it has a nice IPS panel with offers really good viewing angles. This is, I have to say, the best display at this price point. You're not going to find you'll be hard pressed to find a phone with a better display for this price. This is a really awesome display. This is running a quad-core processor. The Moto X, which is the big brother of this device, has a dual-core processor, but it is going to offer a couple more features that you're not going to get, and it also is going to perform just slightly better, though unless you put them side by side, you're not going to actually notice that. The quad-core processor on this is more than adequate and performs really well. This is a Snapdragon 400 processor clocked at 1.2 gigahertz. There's 1 gig of RAM on this device, and there's a Adreno 305 graphics processor. Because it doesn't have the extra processors that the Moto X has, you're not going to get touchless control, so you're not going to be able to just say, okay, Motorola, okay, whatever setting you decide to have it as its hotkey. It's one of those things you're going to have to learn to deal with. It's a cool feature. It's sad that it's not there, but given what you're getting inside and for this price point, concessions had to be made. And that was one of the concessions that had to be made. You're also not going to have active display because this is a IPS panel and not a AMOLED panel. So it would actually be really bad for your battery if they even put active display on it, because with a AMOLED panel, you're not going to be using energy when showing blacks, whereas it does backlight even when showing black. Taking a look at the camera, this does have the same camera software that you would find on the Moto X, though, it does not have the same wake control, so you can't just shake the phone to wake it up and to jump into the camera. But the setup is exactly the same. Swiping from this side will bring up your controls. You have HDR. Sorry, do this without having my fingers in the way. You have your HDR mode, so you have auto, on, or off. Your flash controls, right now it's set off. I'm actually going to put it on auto. You have your touch to change focus and exposure. If you turn that off, it's just going to be touch and capture. But with this, you can drag around and it will change the exposure and focus while you're dragging around. Oh, sorry, as I jump into Google now. Sorry about that. You have slow motion video, which will record slow motion video. You have your panoramic. You have your geolocation on and off. You can change the aspect ratio of the photo, so either 16:9 or 4:3, but that's all on the way of being able to control the size of the photo, which is a little bit disappointing to me, especially given when you have less than 5 gigs of storage, well, less than 6 gigs of storage. It'd be nice to be able to choose which size things are going to be saved at. So if you want to take a 3 megapixel shot, you're out of luck. You're going to have to take the full 5 megapixel shot. And you can also turn the shutter sound on and off. You see here you have the switch to change from the 5 megapixel autofocus camera in the back, to the VGA camera up front. The VGA camera is a VGA camera, so you don't expect miracles out of it. It's okay for self-portraits, but better for outdoor uses than indoor. I found it was really noisy indoor. You also have your video capture control right here. As soon as you press it, it will actually start recording. And this does record at 720p. This is not a full high-def video recording device. But video recordings do come out pretty nice. It does change focus, and it does a good job picking up audio, so I was actually quite happy with that. But overall, I found that the camera was just okay. My pictures came out more noisy than I would like it to, and it wasn't like the noise was compensating for anything. It was just way more noise than I would have liked it to had on it. So I mean, didn't capture too much of the details I wanted. It's pretty hit or miss, especially with landscape shots. But overall, I'd just say it's okay. It's nothing amazing. If you want to swipe over to the gallery, let's go that way. Let's open up camera again somehow. There you go. That was a look at the camera on the Moto G. Some other things that should be noted: this is a 3G device. If you're hoping for an LTE device on Boost Mobile, then this is not going to be the device for you. You're also going to want to make sure that your Sprint 3G service in your area is to your liking. If you're in a bad area for Sprint 3G, then do not get this device, because you'll be frustrated and might throw it against a wall. So if you're considering getting the Moto G, there's a couple things you have to take into consideration. First, do you have good 3G service in your area? This is not an LTE device, so if you're in a good Sprint 3G service area, then you might want to consider getting it. If you have bad 3G service for Sprint in your area, then I would say stay away from it. And also, you have to take into consideration the fact that this does not have expandable storage and only has 5 gigs. If you're one of those app-hungry people, or don't want to ever have to worry about, not being able to download app because you don't have the storage, then you're not going to want to get this device. You're going to want to get something that has more internal storage, or just a SD card slot. If you're willing to make those sacrifices, then what you're going to get is a really good device, especially for this price point. Again, best display at this price point. I can say hands down it's the best display I've seen at this price point. Build quality is right up there, and you're going to get a really good phone, but you're going to have to make some sacrifices. For my full in-depth review of this phone and many more, head over to the site, boymeetsphone.com. If you found this video informative and liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to catch up with more reviews. So this has been Yosarian from boymeetsphone.com. Thanks for watching.